Welcome to Toy Business Unboxed, your gateway to the secrets of the toy industry. Here, Jason Shea, a toy entrepreneur and expert in the field.
Every product we develop is really inspired by some of the real life experience that we have with our son.
60% of all toys last year were sold on Amazon, which is incredible.
Be passionate about it because it's a road, it's a journey.
Like when you have an idea that you think is like gonna somewhat like change the world, make things better, I'd say go for it.
We'll guide you through the enchanting world of toy design, marketing, and manufacturing. Now let the unboxing begin.
Welcome back to another episode of Toy Business Unboxed podcast. I'm your host, Jason Shea. Today's guest is Angelina, Executive Director of Women in Toys, Licensing and Entertainment, also known as WiT. She spent the last over 15 years working with some of the biggest names in the toys and entertainment industry, from Pokemon to Marvels to Care Bears, any of the famous brands you have heard of. She probably have worked with them in the past. And now she leads the global community of professionals dedicated to advancing women in this particular industry. So thank you so much for joining us on the podcast today and sharing with the audience your experiences and your expertise.
Jason, so great to be here with you and so good to see you. It's been a few months since we saw each other last, so I'm just so happy to be chatting with you.
Thank you. And thank you for joining us. So I know Women in Toy as an association has been around for more than 30 years, but for those people that was like hiding behind a rock and never heard of it before, how will you describe the association? Why does it exist?
Yeah. Well, thanks for asking. And I appreciate, Jason, that you said Women in Toys, Licensing and Entertainment. We're actually 35 years old this year, if you can believe it. And we like to go by the short name WiT because the other name is a bit of a mouthful, but we started 35 years ago as Women in Toys. So people who have been around the industry for a long time often refer to us to that. But as the industry was changing, we changed along with it. And so we added on licensing and entertainment. Our mission still stays the same, though. We're a global nonprofit, and we focus on advancing women throughout their professional journeys, whether that's across consumer products, entertainment, gaming, toys. And, we joke one day, Jason, that one day we're just going to name ourselves Women with Jobs because
that will be too big of a market, isn't it? Isn't that 50% of population?
We're going to take over the world, Jason. But the industry's just changing so much if you think about it. Like one company's just making dolls or board games. They're multimedia organizations now. But the simplest...
if you want to be successful, that's unfortunately the necessity that you have to do. So
It is. And I think, all that aside, really, WiT exists to create opportunities that didn't always exist for women.
I see. And we have previous member in our show before from Women in Toys Association. Can you kind of, for our listener that didn't catch the last episode, you can always go back to our previous episode. But to kind of catch on that. But for today's discussion, I want for you to share a little bit about your personal experience in your career, because your career is also very interesting, kind of work across toys, entertainments, and brand partnership, pretty much every single genre that your association currently represent. You've done them all, sounds like, as well. Can you share a little bit about that experience?
Yeah, absolutely. And actually, I started my marketing career in the airline industry. So,
Okay, airline, totally different.
It's funny because when I look back, the through line wasn't always obvious in the moment. And, if you look at my career now, someone might go, well, that's interesting how that all kind of came together. But I think really what connected everything that I did, whether it was entertainment, whether it was consumer products, whether it was retail or brand building, really it all came down to two core things for me. It was about the storytelling piece of it, and it was about the relationships piece of it. And so I think, I grew up in Puerto Rican household, and community was really a way of life. And so there was sort of this unspoken understanding that we were stronger together. And I don't think that I realized at the time how much that would shape my career and how I led professionally.
I see.
But I think working with major franchises too, you mentioned some of the brands that I've had the opportunity to work with and on.
Yeah.
With our major Pokemon, Marvel, Star Wars.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
huge brands, Care Bears and Strawberry Shortcake. Really, I think what resonated or resonates still with those brands is the genuine emotional connection that people have with those brands. I think when people feel something, they stay loyal to those brands. They become advocates.
Yeah, that's really true. And also, I think that's why a lot of the toy companies also trying to be an entertainment company at the same time, because that's how you create, I think, more of those relationship and also actually installing the real emotion behind the product. So it's not just a product sitting on the shelf. There's actually a story related to it. So I think that's a common trend for a successful toy brand nowadays.
Yeah.
So.
And I think like coming into WiT, all of my experiences really felt like they were clicking into place because I was combining that community aspect that has been such a through line throughout my career, the leadership development, the creativity. But instead of building one brand, I'm helping elevate an entire industry.
Yeah, for sure. So I know there's so many things that Women in Toys Association do, but for those of our listeners that's not part of the member yet, how can they benefit by joining your nonprofit's program?
Yeah, I think, WiT looks like on a day-to-day basis, it's not just networking. It's, again, like I talked about, it's the community-driven aspect and really about belonging. And I think, yes, you can get some of that like transactional networking that's a part of it, but we're also creating educational programming opportunities. We're creating mentorship opportunities, which is a huge piece of what we do, Jason, giving the opportunity for women throughout their career.
Tell me more. How does the mentorship program work? Is it one-on-one, one-to-many? What is the format?
Thank you so much for asking that. So what we have really done is evolve our mentorship program. And so it started really during COVID as a virtual program, and it's underwritten by Mattel, our friends at Mattel. And so it's called the Ruth Handler Mentorship Program. It's a really interesting virtual software program that is a 4-month program where we have people on our team that work through matching professionals with mentees. And so they each go through a survey program and they go, okay, here are the skills that I'm looking to build. And the mentor says, here are the skills that I'm really an expert in. And then we match those people up and they have 4 months of one-on-one mentorship that
4 months. Okay. That's a very long mentorship program.
That helps to build those professional skills that they're looking for.
How often are they meeting?
It's up to them. The cadence is up to them, but the minimum requirement is at least once a month for 4 months.
I see. That's actually very, very valuable. I think that's one thing for someone that's coming into the industry kind of new. The best way to learn is talk to people that already been there and done that and already achieved what you are trying to achieve right now. So I think that's true for any kind of career development or any kind of entrepreneurship if they want to start their own toy company as well. So
I mean, people pay thousands and thousands of dollars for something like that.
Yes.
And so,
for sure.
It's a really nice thing that we're able to provide in partnership with our friends at Mattel. But one thing that we've done this year as well, Jason, is we've really taken that mentorship into in-person opportunities because as you know, as you know, you connected with us at New York Toy Fair a couple of years ago at Toy Fair for the first time.
Yeah.
But this year, both at New York Toy Fair and then last week at Licensing Expo, we did programming within our booth. And so we did small group mentoring. And so we had...
I attended one of those events at New York Toy Fair where you invite the guy from Amazon and I grilled them with questions.
Well, our partners are huge. They're just that. They're partners. And they want to provide these educational resources and these opportunities to the community as well. And so they take time out of their schedules and they come into our booth and provide the opportunity for small sit-down sessions with folks.
Yeah, that's extremely valuable as well. So
especially when you're trying to, get to some of these companies and there's just, bots and emails
emails,
find people.
AI chat. You couldn't talk to a real human anymore. It's really hard to talk to a real human. So,
exactly. And so, you've got people from our community, board members of ours who are giving time to provide learning, mentorship, and education to our members. So it's really invaluable.
I see. For your membership makeup, will you say majority of, are they working professional, or like how much of them are actually entrepreneur and actually try to start a toy company themselves?
That's a great question too. We have over 7,000 members across the globe.
Oh, whoa, that's a lot of people. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
It's nothing to balk at. And they're made up of both men and women.
Yeah.
And so definitely we can't do what we do without our allies.
Yeah.
So they're definitely a part of the community. I mentioned that we have students who are a part of our community as well.
The student too. Okay.
Students get complimentary membership, and also people that are in transition get complimentary membership as well. So
what do you mean by transition? Can you define
they're in a job transition. And so they might be looking for their next thing, or unexpectedly, on the job hunt again. And so we offer 6-month complimentary membership for people who are in transition. But yeah, you've got people who are also kitchen table inventors. And so, working out the next big thing at their very own kitchen table, all the way to C-level executives who are a part of the community. So, you've got a good, diverse mix. And I think what I just genuinely appreciate about our community is, I know I keep talking about Licensing Expo, but I was just there last week for a week. And so I see these opportunities in real time. I see the special sauce of WiT, and you're sitting next to a student, an inventor, and a C-suite executive all sitting at the table having breakfast together. And you don't get those opportunities in your life.
Do you also have like an entrepreneurship program inside WiT? Because I know other associations like Astra or Gamma, sometimes they have like a special program for upcoming new business owner in the industry. Do you have something like that as well?
So we have a small business resource center that's available via our website. We also have our Slack channel with a small business entrepreneur. We have folks in the Slack channel asking each other questions all the time. Like, hey, I'm looking for a 1P provider. Hey, I'm trying to launch this product. What's the best resource to find an IP attorney? So those kinds of opportunities definitely exist. We have Casual Fridays, which happen once a month, which is a drop-in session for small business owners, for anyone in the community to learn from each other. Whether they're a part of the tabletop learning community is also another opportunity, again, to connect with folks. So while we don't have a formal entrepreneurship program, we do have opportunities for folks to learn from each other.
Okay. Yeah, I see on your website, you also have some educational webinar that you're providing to the member for them to learn in different topics within the industry to either grow their own career or grow their own business too. So.
Yeah, absolutely. So we have a whole arsenal of webinars and educational programming, and you can just type in whatever the topic you're looking for, whether that's, financial acumen or digital marketing, and all of the content that we have related to that particular topic will surface.
I see. And one interesting topic I want to kind of bring up, because I attend a lot of toys and game events. I would say toys and game industry as a whole is still historically has been male dominated. If you look at all the CEO, 90% of them are guys, not females. Did you notice anything that changes over the years in your career and also in your involvement in women in toys? Do you feel like the industry is changing a little bit, hopefully?
I think there's absolutely been progress. So I definitely want to acknowledge that. We see more women in leadership, more female founders, more intentional conversations around inclusion than we did maybe even 10 years ago, Jason.
Yeah.
I still think that there's significant work to be done. And I think especially when we're talking about executive level and investment levels. So I think that is still something to be shaped. We need equitable pathways for that advancement, and we need diverse voices genuinely included in the decision-making process. So not to just be invited to the conversation, but to be a part of those decisions. So I think, what gives me optimism is that the conversation has shifted. It's no longer just about fairness. It should always be fair, right? But I think companies are increasingly recognizing that diverse leadership is providing real, stronger innovation in their products and real business outcomes.
Yeah, that's very important to have different perspective or different
Yeah.
voice in the industry as well. Like even for like Asian entrepreneur, I don't see a lot of us. It's like a handful. I can count it with my fingers. It's like very few, like maybe Asian American like background founders in the industry as well. So obviously people that's including women, African Americans, and all the other minority, I guess, in the communities where the industry is still 90% like white males, as you
Yeah.
know. So
Yeah. Yeah. And I think, like we've got the awareness about it, but now it's about translating that into some real like structural change here so that, again, we can make sure that the products and the experiences that we're creating are resonating with even more people.
Yeah. And I want to transition our next topic to talk a little bit about AI, since that is like a big topic for not just for toys industry, for almost all the industry. It's really impacting and changing the way we work and the way we approach our career. From your perspective, because you talk to hundreds or thousands of professionals in the industry, how do you see them impacting their career with the advancements of AI, or how can we adapt so we don't get replaced by AIs altogether? So
I think it's such a charged topic, Jason.
yeah, it is.
It's, what I appreciate about our industry too is it's moving so fast. And if you think about just since COVID days, how quickly we have accelerated the production process, everything. And so what I think has become more clear to me with the adoption of AI is that if you're not learning, you're falling behind.
Yes, agree. Yeah.
And
My
so
philosophy is like we are not being replaced by AI. We're being replaced by people that know how to use AI better than us. So yeah.
I think you're right. And I think it's, I think it's just about getting in and testing it and trying and learning. You're not going to break anything. And, I think there's a bit of hesitancy, and I can understand in some major corporations who are still trying to figure out their AI policies, like employees are a little bit nervous about how can I utilize this in a way that is adhering to policies. But I think also, in addition to the learning piece, you can't just have one session of learning and then that's it, right? It needs to be sort of a constant drumbeat. You should be spending a couple of hours a day in all of your AI platforms and software systems to be learning that. And I think, leadership looks so different now than it did, even 5 years ago, Jason. So I think people need access to the education. And one of the things that I think I'm most proud of with regards to WiT is just not just helping our members keep up with the change, but helping them lead through the change.
Lead through the change. That's very important. Yeah. And the reason why I brought up this topic, because this is the biggest project I'm doing this year for my own companies. At Toy Launch, we have 20 employees. We're a small team, but we are also trying to adapt AI company-wise. So actually, one of our monthly requirements is everyone is required to create an AI automation at least once per month. And it's part of the like employee performance tracking as well. We tie the AI implementation, the AI rollout as part of the career development for our team member. So we are also, I personally also host AI workshop for my entire company once a week as well, teaching the latest different concept. How do we use Cloud Code? How do we use Cowork? How do we create schedule tasks? How do we create database? How do we use AI skill to automate, streamlines, and also save us time on the work that we used to do by hand? So this is a huge project I've been spending hundreds of hours on this year. So myself as the CEO. So
well, I mean, hundreds of hours now will save you thousands of hours down the road.
Exactly. It's an initial investment, because I think that this is, very common for a lot of companies within the toys and game industry that's trying to implement AI, because initially the learning curve is steep. It's a very steep learning curve. But once you started implementing it, that's where you're starting to finally see some return of your investment on the time that you save in maybe month 3 or month 4. But like the first couple months is going to be chaotic.
And Jason, I'm just curious with regards to how you're approaching it as an organization. Do you have like team members who are subject matter experts in a particular tool, or is everyone kind of using all the tools? How are you approaching that as an organization?
Very good question. So our organization, we kind of almost force everyone to use Cloud Code. It is a requirement. It doesn't matter what your position is because there's so many AI tools. If you try to ask them, just use whatever the tool you like, no one can be a master. Then we couldn't help each other and we couldn't really refine our workflow as a team. So first, we standardize the platform. We only use Cloud Code. That is a platform we're going to be used. I mean, we did a lot of research. We used to use ChatGPT before, but now everyone on the team only use Cloud Code because Cloud Code just have a lot more advanced capabilities as well. And then for the rollout, obviously each one's position is different. We have graphic designer, we have digital marketer, we have HR. Everyone's like usage of the AI is going to be a little bit different. But as long as we're in the same tool, I'm actually doing a webinar about how to build this out for the company because I did it myself. I spent hundreds of hours on building it out. It's called the AI operation system. So for my company, we have a shared database with thousands of files. It's all markdown file that AI can easily read for everything about the company's policy, our brands, our meetings, and it tied to my Google Calendar. It tied to my Gmail. It tied to my ClickUp project management system. It also tied to all the meeting I have. You will upload into the database so the AI have full context of every single thing I do on a daily basis, every single thing that my team is doing. It also have awareness of everyone's role because the service level use of AI is you talk to it like you're using Google. That is the wrong way to use it. You are not using it correctly if you're only talking it like a Google. You need to let it to do the work for you. And that's what we're trying to do as a team. So it is a lot of work initially to get it set up. But we have a dashboard to track how many hours it's saving already. It's already saving the team like almost 100 hours a month on all the AI automation we have been able to implement since we started earlier this year. So,
well, Jason, we're going to have a part 2 of this conversation so we can talk more about AI.
I'm very passionate about it and I speak on this topic as well. So, yeah, but I think this is all what we're facing as an industry. We just need to adapt. I'm also trying my best to keep up with all the changes because there's always new tool, new development, not just in AI, but industry as a whole. I see the industry from my perspective is really become more and more of like a influencer-led or like content-driven. Like a lot of the consumer behavior is all content-driven.
Right.
People no longer is really going to Amazon to do product discovery. They are trying to discover new product on Instagram or TikTok or other platform. So the whole industry is also shifting. It's like, how can we adapt and change to kind of align with that industry changes as well? So.
I agree with you, Jason. And I think that leads us back to the emotional resonance of it all, right? Because they want to have a feeling. They want to watch somebody open something and go, oh my gosh, I feel like this. Yeah. And so they're looking for somebody to kind of tell them how they feel. Yeah. And then they go, okay, now I understand.
Because if you look at some of the toy brand that blow up, there's Labubu. There is also Needles that just blow up. But why do they blow up? It's really influencer-led. That would sound like influencer was using it, sharing it, and it's just whole thing just blow up. So that's like the lot of success story you can see in our industry already in the past couple of years. Like Labubu did like billions of dollars because they went viral. It's crazy. So
and it's about the feeling that people get. It's the prestige, it's the excitement, it's the surprise, and it's the comfort. So I think all of those kind of feelings that come up, just the chase of it all is the excitement of it.
For sure. So as we are kind of heading toward the end of today's interview here, what is the next chapter for Women in Toys? Where are you taking the organization to? What are some of the new exciting programs you're currently working on in the next couple of years?
Yeah, well, we are focused on 2 things at once. And really, it's about expanding our global reach and going deeper on the value that we're providing to our members. And I think, Jason, we talked a little early on about the mentorship program. And I think what we've seen in the last year is just this real yearning for in-person connection. And so expanding that global reach through our local chapters and expanding that reach through those tentpole events that we do at New York Toy Fair, at Licensing Expo, at Wonder Women Awards.
Yes.
While this virtual opportunity to connect day to day is wonderful, there's nothing that can match hugging somebody you know in person.
Yeah. We're
And
still human
so,
at the end of the day. So
yeah, that's right. And I think just strengthening those programs that we have, like the mentorship program, like leadership development, more educational and concrete pathways for women, and creating those opportunities and that community in person is really important. So we're providing more value to our members through those in-person connections.
I see. And thank you so much for what you're doing for the industry to really helping people to advance in your career. So my last question is, if you have to share one piece of advice with someone that's getting started within the toys and game industry, what would that be?
I would say build your relationships before you need them.
Okay.
I know that sounds simple, but I mean it. The industry, and I'm sure, Jason, as you've experienced, is deeply relationship driven. So
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
I think that, again, bringing it back to the feelings piece, people remember how you make them feel. And so your reputation, your curiosity, how you treat people matter so much. And I think, building those relationships early and often is so important. And I think, I would say, last week, again, I had the opportunity to also meet with our scholarship recipients. They came to Las Vegas. And
I didn't know you also have a scholarship program. Tell me more.
yeah, we have a scholarship program.
Okay.
And we picked 6 women, and they all are students learning in a variety of different capacities. This year, we have someone who's focused on AI and transformation is her major.
I see.
We have a toy designer, we have a marketer, we have a cognitive sciences student.
Okay.
Really, really just incredible women who are just eager to learn. And so we connected them with so many of our partners, our board members, and it's just such an incredibly fulfilling thing that we do within the organization. And we have hundreds and hundreds of people who apply every year. And 6 women are just so incredible and deserving. And I think one of the things that I continue to tell those young people is don't wait for permission to lead. We need your perspective in the room. And so, don't wait for somebody to tap you on the shoulder and ask what you think.
Yeah.
We need your perspective. It makes us better. So,
okay. Thank you so much for sharing that. And for our audience that's interested to learn more about Women in Toy and your organization, where is the best place for people to find you guys online?
So we've got a couple of ways to find us. The first way, and the place where you're going to find the most information, is womenintoys.com. That's our website. Yeah. We have, as I mentioned, the webinars and all of our educational programming and resources, whether you're a small business owner or a C-suite executive. All of that lives within our website. That's where you'll also be able to link into our Slack and find information about our social media channels also. So you're going to get the most up-to-date information via LinkedIn, Instagram, and Facebook.
Got it. Okay. We'll make sure we put that in the show note. And again, thank you so much for your time today to share about the latest development in the organization, all the different amazing programs you're doing for the people in the industry as well. So thank you so much for your time.
Jason, thank you. And I look forward to connecting again about some AI stuff here in the future.
For sure. And thank you for our audience for tuning in to this episode of Toy Business Unboxed podcast. I hope today's conversation gives you some practical insight and fresh inspiration for growing your own career or your businesses within the toys and game industry. This podcast is sponsored by Toy Launch, a leading marketing and growth partner for toys and game companies. At Toy Launch, we help brands scale on Amazon and beyond through full service account management, advertising, SEO, creative, catalog optimization, influencer marketing, TikTok marketing, and more. If you are looking for a proven team that really understands the e-commerce, digital marketing, and the toys and game industry, we're here to help. If you'd like a personal breakdown of your brand opportunities and your best marketing strategy you can implement, feel free to schedule a free consultation session with us. Just visit toy-launch.com/schedule. If you want to connect with other toys and game founders, join our free communities called Toys and Game Launchpad at toy-launch.com/group. For more resource update and industry insight, visit us anytime at toy-launch.com. Until next time, keep innovating, keep creating, keep bringing joys through toys. This is Jason Shea signing off on the Toy Business Unboxed podcast. We'll see you in the next episode. Thank you so much, everyone.